What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zach Weicker, and today we got a very special guest. He's a professional fighter with a 4-4 record. He'll be fighting for Combat FC 6 on February 9th. Please welcome Damion Nelson. Damion, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Just another day. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. And before we get into the fight, I kind of like to give the fans a little introduction on yourself. So, how and when did you originally get into the sport of MMA?
You say how and when?
Yeah.
So I first of all, I was not introduced to the sport by a friend, but I was convinced to start training by a friend. It's just something that I used to watch a lot. Um, and I take a liking to it. And a friend of mine, he convinced me like, yo, you should probably try it out. You should try, get some training and see how you like it. And I started training in 2015, I think, and it's been, you know, the rest is still to come. I haven't looked back since. I love the sport. I think about fighting or training every day. It's all I do now.
Yeah. And what did you say you recall from the first time you stepped into the training room?
Again?
What would you say was the first, like, what do you recall from the first time you stepped into a gym?
Oof. It was nerve-wracking. I'll tell you that. The first time I was very nervous. But I'll say this, I have been into sport pretty much my whole childhood, you know. Um I've always been into sport. I grew up in Jamaica where the main sport is soccer, you know. So I grew up playing a lot of soccer and just because of that I had a level of fitness, I would say, and I thought I would be able to handle the training, but it was something else, man. I was surprised. 2 minutes of wrestling, or you know, it felt like I'm like, yo, this is not what I was expecting. This is hard. It was an eye opener.
Definitely, man. You mentioned Jamaica there, so and of course you wear the Jamaican flag to the cage and you wear it very proudly. So how important would you say it is for you to represent your country when you walk into the cage?
Oh, it's an awesome feeling, man. It's great. I'm not the only Jamaican athlete or a Jamaican fighter out here, but it's a great feeling um, to represent my country. I have a lot of support back home. Um, I have a lot of people that's you know wishing me the best and wanting to see me succeed in this sport. And it's a great feeling. It's an honor to wear the flag and to just help bring light to the sport in Jamaica, because it's not as big as I would hope or I would want it to be out there. But it's growing. There's a growing fan base out there, and hopefully in the near future, we might be able to have a massive Jamaican fan base internationally.
Definitely, man. And would you say one of your goals one day is to be able to fight in Jamaica?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's definitely something I would love to do. Um, but one step at a time.
Yeah,
One step at a time. My next goal is to come and dominate in Boston or Massachusetts.
definitely, man. And this might be the first time a lot of people are seeing you. So for someone that has never seen you fight before, how would you describe your fighting style and your strengths?
Well, I am um a lot of people would consider me a striker because I have a kickboxing and a boxing background, but I'm an MMA fighter. I'm a complete fighter. You know, yes, I'm very good at striking. Yes, I'm very good at boxing, but I also wrestle. I also know jujitsu. And I know how to put them together. Um, and this fight, most definitely, we will be seeing that. I'll be proving that. wherever the fight goes, I'll be ready and willing to go there. Let's just say that.
For sure, man. And this will be your first time fighting for Combat FC as you'll be making your debut for the promotion. So how excited are you to make your debut for another company?
It's very excited. You know, I'm just spreading my roots and you know, working through the cracks and just, you know, trying to grow myself as a fighter and gain more fans. It's a very, you know, exciting and welcoming opportunity to compete on their platform.
And Combat FC is located in Massachusetts, and this will be your first time fighting in the Massachusetts area. So are you excited to travel and fight in a new city?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's always a joy to, you know, go to a different city and experience what it's like there, if it's even for a couple days. You know, I've never been to Massachusetts, honestly, so you know, it. I look forward also to experience the life in Massachusetts, the lifestyle. You know, might, you know, go see a couple spots afterwards and see. Let's see what the night has to offer.
Yeah, man. And on this fight, you'll be fighting Gerald Meuse. So how did this fight come about?
Can you say that again?
You'll be fighting Gerald Meuse. So how did this fight come about?
My manager, Lars, he's out of Massachusetts as well. He's the one who pretty much just book all my fights. I've been with him for about a year now, I would say. Yeah, and you know, we've been working good together. He's the one who facilitate all of this. He just reach out, let me know what he has as far as what promotion and opponents we have available, and we go from there. So this was all done because of him.
That's great, man. And have you watched any tape on your opponent? And if so, what are your opinions on and thoughts about his striking style, his fighting style, and the strengths in general?
Honestly, I don't tend to do too much uh like tape watching of my opponents. I do watch. I'm not gonna say I don't, but not too much. I let my coaches pretty much focus on that, and then we'll formulate a game plan based off of what they see. Um, but for the most part, from what I saw, you know, he's a pretty solid dude. Um, I think he's stronger in the grappling department. You know, tough kid. And you know, I'm expecting a fight, and I'm coming to put on a show for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting him to come and be in his peak performance and put his best foot forward, and I'll be there to do the same thing.
Sure, man. And I'm not sure if you saw this video, but in his last fight, he came out in a Captain America outfit and kind of danced in the cage a little bit. So I'm curious if you saw that at all.
I think I may have saw that. I think I may have saw that. Yes, I saw that. He put on a performance. Hey, he's a, you know, he's a performer. So you know that works for him. That's a part of his charisma. You know, I have no issues with that. You know, just once we in there and that cage is locked, and it's time to go.
Yeah. And I guess you can't really complain when you're winning fights. And he's currently 6-0. So does it motivate you to take that all away from him?
Oh, definitely, definitely. You know, but other than that, we just look at it as another just another fight. Um, you know, uh, my my previous loss is that I have, you know, one can watch those fights and come to an understanding or a decision to themselves, like, you know, it may or may not be questionable, but I have some losses that, you know, that I would say otherwise. But yes, definitely he's 6-0. We're coming out there to fight. Um, and my plan is to see that all go. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely, man. And what would you say makes you stand out the most against your opponent?
what makes me stand out mostly in what?
Against your opponent, like what about your skills makes you stand out compared to your opponent?
Uh, what makes me stand out compared to my opponent. As I said, I didn't do too much film watching on my opponent, but I think he's from the grappling side of the sport. Um, it's just the fact that I'll be able to adapt, as I said, wherever the fight goes. You know, I'll be able to adapt wherever it goes, whether we're grappling or striking. I'll be able to be in there and be 100% in control. I would say, you know, um, my thing is to drag him out into deep waters and see how well he can swim. So
Yeah, definitely, man. And this fight will be at 140, or will be like catch weight instead of 145. So, what caused the change of weights?
honestly, that is the weight that they offered it at, and you know, I didn't say no to it. Like,
Yeah,
uh, they we I normally fight at 45, but they asked for a catch weight at 50. Um, I'm like, okay, let's go.
yeah. I guess you get to eat a little more, a little less of a weight cut, so a little bit easier a few days before the fight for you. But I
Yeah,
know you.
yeah.
I know you said you didn't really watch that much tape, but are you looking at this fight as stylistically in any way?
Stylist say yes, yes. As I said, his style is more so of a grappling style. And grappling then striking works, you know. So I guess it is definitely gonna be him trying to push his style and me trying to, take it where I'm more comfortable at, which would probably be the striking aspect. Um, so I think that's what it's gonna be. Who can get their uh, game going first? You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna try and probably grapple. That's what I'm expecting. Um, so I'm ready. I'm well ready and prepared for that. Uh, but style makes fights, man, and this is an MMA fight, so I think that's what makes the best matches: a striker and against a grappler. Because then you're clashing to see who can. If it's two strikers, then it's gonna be a kickboxing match, and if it's two boxers, it's gonna be a boxing match. But when you mix it up and have a grappler, whether it's wrestling or jiu-jitsu, for instance, a striker, then you get a good MMA fight. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely, man.
I've been getting a few grapplers, like, you know, all my career I may have seen one striker. So, it's I don't think it's nothing we haven't seen before, and we'll be ready. As I said, ready and waiting to execute.
Sounds great, man. And you've mentioned that some of your previous fights it went to the scorecards, and you believe this decision did not go your way. So does it motivate you a little extra to get that finish so you don't need to go to the scorecards?
Yeah, that is what the plan is, man. Not to leave it up to the judges because you know, for whatever reason, a judge might just like his style more, and and decide that he's gonna give it to him. So, my plan is to just take keep my destiny in my own hands, and not relying on it to go to the scorecards.
Yeah. And you've been in quite a few of those where the decision hasn't gone your way, the split decision at Cage Fury, the Reese one at PFL. But after the fight, when you think you won the fight and you realize the scorecard did not go the way, how disappointed are you when the scorecards read your opponent's name?
You say, how does it feel?
Yeah, how does it feel? How disappointed are you?
It
Like,
is
what
it is a
emotions going through your head?
it is a terrible feeling, man. Especially when you're there and you're like, okay, I got this. And then for the judges to say otherwise, it's like it's demoralizing. It just hurts, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you put in a lot of work to get the results you want. And then you go about and you start thinking about all the things that you could have done and things that you stones that you didn't turn as far as in the fight. You know, like, yo, I had a little more. I could have done this. I could have taken a little more risk. And, you know, it really plays around in your head for a couple of days. And, you know, you just got to stay strong and be focused and know that it's a part of the journey. And, you know, it's just what it is. You just got to accept it and move forward and just put in your work and know that the next time you'll come out better and stronger and, you know, not leave it up to the judges. But in some fights, you're not going to get out all your opponents. Not every fight's going to end in a knockout. You know, you just got to work your ass off, man, and do your best to make sure that you come out on top.
Yeah, and to continue on that, it has been 3 losses in a row, and a lot of people after 3 losses would be very down on themselves. Probably would be hard for them to get into another fight. So, what motivates you to keep on fighting?
My family and the reason why I'm fighting, the purpose, you know, and the fact that I have a lot of people who support me and believe in me, and I have a solid team. I have a great team. I'm a part of a solid camp. You know, we have all the puzzle with pieces. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just like just putting them together to complete the puzzle set. Um, I have a good support team. I have a good team. You know, and I guess I would have to say I'm the one dropping the ball. You know, for whatever reason, but you know, I I stay the course and you know I stay positive and I'm not always motivated, you know what I'm saying? But I stay disciplined, you know. So sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym, but the staying disciplined will make me reach. I'll get there and push through a class and just keep grinding and just know that, you know, I have a lot of people that's counting on me. So it's more than just me.
Definitely,
That's
man.
what
Definitely. And you mentioned your training camp. You mentioned that you have a good team around you, and you train a lot MMA. So, how would you describe your experience there and your relationships like, and what your relationships like are with your coaches and training partners, and just the whole shebang?
Oh, it's a phenomenal experience. That's actually the very first gym that I've been to. I started with them and it's been almost a decade and I'm still there. It's phenomenal. The love, it's like a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? My coaches, they're very much reliable. I can call on them on any time. The staff at the gym, you know what I'm saying, management, my training partners, everything is just it's just peaceful and it's a bond that we done built over the years. Um, at Law, you know, our head coach Ray Longo, he's just there, you know, giving the best advice and helping all his fighters. And I have also other gyms that I train at because I train at Sarah's as well. That's where I do jujitsu. I do jujitsu at Law as well. We got some killers over here, man. But we also train at Sarah's that's a affiliated gym with Law, and I also train at Jamaica Boxing Club. So I done integrate myself in a group of gyms where it's just all love and it's just all good work and everybody is heading or aiming for the same goal. So iron sharpen iron. I'm saying,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
sir.
And on Iron, one of the Irons at Law is Aljamain Sterling. And I know you've always trained him. He's cornered some of your fights. So, how has a guy like Aljamain being in the gym help impact you and help help you grow as a fighter?
See, it is so amazing to have Aljo, and not just Aljo, but all the other fighters in the gym that fights for the upper echelon, if you know what I'm saying, the bigger promotions. Because it shows you that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? And we have a similar background, not necessarily that they're from Jamaica, but Aljo is Jamaican, by the way. But the fact that, we're all from this area, you know what I'm saying? And we pretty much all have struggles, man. None of us are rich kids. None of us grew up, wealthy and have everything. And, this is an outlet. This is a way how we can take care of ourselves and our family and our friends and the people that we love. And to see them do it, and they're thriving, it's just very motivating. Like, yo, it's right there. You can touch it. You hang out with them. You train with them. We sometimes we hang out together. And it's humbling, and it's also exciting to know that, like, yo, he did it, and he's right here, and this is where he started from. I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? I just need to stay the course and stay disciplined, and take all the advice that I can get from him and learn from whatever mistakes he may have in his journey, and just keep going, man. But it's truly a blessing. I wouldn't rather to be anywhere else.
Yeah, it's truly great, man. And what's something I love about Aljo is he always goes out of his way to corner other people at Law MMA. So how much does it mean for you when a guy like Aljamain Sterling goes out of his way to corner one of your fights?
It's great. It's great. That shows how much of how much his character is. He's not. He's Aljo. He's a friggin' former world champion. He's down in the books. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he still take the time out of his day, out of his busy schedule, whether he's in New York at the time or he might be overseas or in Vegas. He'll fly back. You know what I'm saying? To come and support and help out his teammates. Like, that says a lot. That says a lot. So I'm truly grateful for every time that, whether he corners a fight or he helped me through camp or he runs the class at the gym. So, like, I'm grateful for every experience and every moment that we share. And it's a blessing.
Definitely, man. And he got the upcoming fight with Calvin Cater coming up. So how do you think that fight pans out for him?
Oh, definitely, my boy taking that. Definitely, ain't no question about it. He's smoking them.
Yeah, should be a fun one. I'm excited for it. And earlier you mentioned that you had a very good training camp. So what do you think made this training camp so good?
Just that I touched the areas that I was lacking. That's how I would say. I work on the things that I should have been working on. And I gained more confidence in areas that I was saying that I didn't lock the skill, I had locked the confidence. You know what I'm saying? But this camp, for over the last 5-6 months, I've just dialed in, and I focus on just those areas, and it's I've seen major improvements. You know what I'm saying? So that alone is a big difference in it's going to be a huge difference in my fight compared to the last couple of fights. So yeah.
That's great, man. And in your last fight, even though you did lose, it was for the PFL. So how's it like to fight for a major promotion?
It was good. It was a good experience. I loved it. I hope they see this video and and reach back out. It was a phenomenal performance. I think I could have done better. Yes. There was things that I could have done that I didn't. Yes. But the experience was very good. Those guys at PFL, the whole team, the whole promotion, they take care of their athletes. They took good care of me. I had no complaints. It was very professional, and I loved it. I would definitely step in that octagon again for PFL. PFL,
Yeah,
I hope you hear this.
that's great, man. And my final question for you is: we just entered the year 2024. So, what are your goals for inside the cage and outside the cage?
uh Inside the cage is to completely dominate. No hiccups, um, no mistakes. I think I had my fair share of hiccups for my career. No more. So yeah, just inside the cage, man. I'm just focusing on this next fight, one at a time. Um, so for the next 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks, just to come up there and take this victory and enjoy it. Um, Outside of the cage, keep training and spend a little time with the family.
That's great, man. Really is. Is there anything you want to plug out or shout out before we head out here?
Say that again.
Anything you want to plug, shout out, promote anything before we head out here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to send a shout out to my team, the Sarah Longo team, Jamaica Boxing Club. Um, my coaches, Ray Longo, Eric Heyer, uh, Jonathan, Bo Harris, Coach Danny, all my training partners, my supporting family. They support me, my wife, my son, my coworkers, and my management. Thank you. Thank you for staying with me and sticking the course and having faith in me. And a big shout out to one of my big fan and supporter. They're the K's. They're from Massachusetts. Uh, Tim K and his family, they support me and sponsor. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
Uh, Damion, it was more than a pleasure having you on. I want to wish you the best of luck in February. Folks, that'll be all for today. Until next time. Peace.